this time, it is my great privilege to introduce to you your next speaker. Ambassador Jeremy Issacharoff is currently the Vice Director General in Foreign Ministry of Israel with overall responsibility for arms control, non-proliferation, regional security, counterterrorism, and the authorization of Israeli defense exports. He has served in several senior diplomatic capacities and specialized in the diplomatic efforts regarding Iran, U.S.-Israel relations, regional security in different aspects. He served on the UN Secretary General's Advisory Board for Disarmament Affairs between 2003 and 2008. When we met a few months ago here in Jerusalem, during dinner, we were able to share our stories, and it was intriguing to hear about his story, going to a place that I call my ancestral home. I am proud as an American citizen. My ancestors hail from the state of Kerala that once embraced the people of Israel right after the destruction of the Second Temple. And Jeremy was able to kindly share about the fact that he was appointed ambassador to India. But one of the things that is so unique about Jeremy is his commitment to his faith, his family, his country. His father fell ill at that very same time. And rather than taking an appointment to being the ambassador to India, he remained with his father and mother. And his father passed away right after that. But just the spirit of faith and family and just strong ties that he has to Israel is extraordinary. We are truly delighted to have you as a friend of the American people and a partner. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much, Joel. That was a very generous introduction, and I'm truly moved. And I'd like to thank you and Natasha for creating this event and giving such a strong expression of support at this time to Israel, to Jerusalem. What I thought today, and as Joel has asked me to say a few words about Iran and the general regional landscape, this is, I'm not going to speak too long because I'd be very happy and eager to get into a conversation with Steve. But I'd say a few words about the present reality that we're contending with. First and foremost, I'd say the day after the agreement with Iran is a much more complicated situation than the day before. This is a process that has been going on for a long period of time regarding Iran's nuclear capabilities, and it's also taking place at a time of another very transformational process in the Middle East that started with the Arab Spring and is continuing now in a very destabilizing way. So you have, in a way, a meeting point, a convergence between transformational threats and transformational change. And obviously, in this situation, it presents Israel a very wide spectrum of threats that we have to contend with, one at the same time. It's not just Iran, it's not just Syria, it's not just Hezbollah, it's not just Gaza. One has to be in a situation where you have to take on even further threats, like the issue of ISIS, which is becoming, in my opinion, a growing problem obviously for the area as a whole, but also for Israel in terms of how it's developing, continuing to expand, and at this point does not appear to be receding. The agreement with Iran is part of the reality now that we have to contend with. I don't think anyone has any illusion that Iran has given up its military nuclear aspirations. We don't see the agreement as providing a definitive statement or a statement of fact in that regard. We see no difference in the very strident and consistent development of Iranian missiles, which are not only produced by Iran, have been tested by Iran in contravention to a number of Security Council resolutions. Missiles that have been produced by them have also been proliferated by them. And that's an issue that we continue to look at and concern ourselves with, given the fact also that the agreement on the nuclear aspects do not fully cover this issue. Thirdly, we continue to see that Iran's regional activities have not only changed, but they've become much more intense. In Syria, you can see not only reinforcement and the re-establishment of a greater Iranian presence in Syria, but also the Iranians have very much reinforced their military assets, and that brings Iran another step closer to Israel. And obviously, as was said before, presents a number of different challenges to us on the Golan Heights in terms of continued transfer of weapons to Hezbollah. The fact that this organization is a non-state organization which is beginning and already possessing significant capabilities that of a strategic nature that even exceed a number of other armies, not only in the Middle East, but around the world. So we have to continue to deal with Syria. We are seeing a new dimension of the Iranian activity there, and I don't see that receding in the near future. Beyond that, we also continue to see Iranian activities in the area of supporting terrorist groups have also in no way diminished. They continue supplying arms, supplying weapon systems, training, intelligence, financial assets to these groups. And when, obviously, we look at the reality after the nuclear agreement, we have to take into account these broader factors as we try and gauge, is there any change in Iranian behavior or policy? The clear answer is no. So this is the course that we have to pursue. The Prime Minister will be traveling to Washington next week. This will be a very crucial meeting between our two administrations. I don't think anyone should underestimate the fact that both of our establishments, our political and security establishments, with differences that we've had in recent times, have still continued to work very closely, very intimately, very frequently, and the relationship, even with an element of disagreement, is still clear on one thing, that Israel and America are fundamental allies, strategic allies, that share the same interests in many ways and share the same values. And I'm sure and I hope that this will become even more reinforced next week as the Prime Minister conducts his visit in Washington.